Hello, my name's Lizzie Phelan. I'm a freelance journalist who has been reporting from Libya since the beginning of the crisis that began in March. I visited Tripoli and other parts of Libya a couple of times over the past 8, 9 months now. And I was also there when NATO bombed the rebels, now the National Transitional Council, into the capital Tripoli. Over the past few weeks, we've been hearing about the capture of Dr. Abu Zaid Dorda, a senior member of the former Libyan government, once Prime Minister of Libya, once permanent envoy to the United Nations, once head of intelligence, who has been detained in very brutal circumstances by the National Transitional Council. And we've been hearing the news of his torture and really terrible treatment by his captors. So on the line, I'm very honoured to be joined by his son, Hamid Dorda, who is going to talk to us a little bit about tomorrow. There's a decision that is due to be made on whether his father will stand trial. So hello, Hamid, first of all. Thank you for speaking to us. And can you just tell us a bit more about the decision that will be made tomorrow about whether your father will stand trial or not, and what you think about this?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me and for this opportunity to explain what's really going on with my father's situation back home in Libya. First off, tomorrow's decision is not only whether he stands trial or not, it's also whether he should be moved away from the militia that have tried to murder him 4 different times on 4 separate occasions.
Okay, so why would they want to move him? Where is he currently?
He's currently in Maitiga base in Tripoli.
Okay.
That's where he's held, and of course he's still in the emergency room over there with the same 5 guards that tried to kill him the first time still guarding him in the room, even though you're not allowed to have people in the emergency room.
Right. So he's in the Matiga hospital, and I kind of outlined that his health is in a very bad state.
Mm-hmm.
So
my dad is 67 years old right now, and at his age he can't take much more of the torture. He's been tortured on October 25th and thrown out of a 2nd-story building.
yeah, we saw some reports about that. And how is he recovered? Has he been treated?
He's being treated, but he's not being treated that well. You see, his doctors say we don't have the medical capabilities of other hospitals. Their medical capabilities are close to nothing right now. And his doctors asked his captors if he could be moved to a better hospital 3 different times because he's going to need better medical attention and an MRI scan to see how much he really is hurt, because we still don't know how badly hurt he is. We just know he was close to death twice.
Yeah, the last reports that we saw that his hemoglobin level had dropped to a dangerously low level of 8, and a number of other really signs of his very poor health. And there was also, with those reports, a mention that his family had been prevented from visiting him. Is that still the case?
Yeah, they were supposed to visit him on the first day of Eid. But of course, they wouldn't let my family visit, and they spread this rumor on Libyan state TV that says Abu Zaid Dorda is in a coma. The doctors called us and told us that's not true, he's doing fine. And this was just another shot they were trying to take in murdering my father, basically.
Okay, and then I understand that there was some pressure from, people who are concerned about your father to get organizations on the ground like the Red Cross, Human Rights Watch, and Amnesty and others to go and visit your father and to give him some support. Do you know if there's been any response from these organizations, and how have they been handling his case?
First off, my dad's known across the globe, and he has a lot of friends outside. The family has lots of friends outside, and whether they're in politics or not, it doesn't make a difference. And all these people, thousands upon thousands of people, emailed and called and even went to the offices of the Red Cross, Human Rights Watch. Some people went to the UN, tried to talk to Ban Ki-moon and all the ambassadors over there to the UN. I know the Russian ambassadors trying to help out, the Chinese ambassador to the UN as well. Ban Ki-moon has not released any statements and has not basically sent back any emails or anything. It's like he knows nothing of the situation, even though all these people are trying to get him to help. Since my dad was and still is the permanent representative of Libya to the United Nations. It's the United Nations obligation to come to Libya, see how he's doing, if he's being treated right or not, and they've done nothing so far. The Red Cross has seen him once or twice, but they said that they can't do anything. They just have to make sure that he's okay, that he's still alive, basically, but they can't do anything other than that. They can't release medical statements or anything like that, even to us, his family. The Human Rights Watch, I personally called them twice, on 2 separate occasions. The rest of my family members have, friends of the family have as well. People that don't even know of my father but heard of him also called the Human Rights Watch, but they still haven't done anything. They haven't done anything yet.
Okay, listen, we have very little time left. Let me just stress to listeners that obviously the treatment of your father is completely against all international norms and international law. For me, it's quite surprising that, you know, organisations such as the Red Cross and Human Rights Watch have been pretty much silent on the treatment of people like your father. So at the beginning, I mentioned that there's a decision due to be made on whether he's going to stand trial or not. And for the past few minutes, we've been talking about the fact that your father is, in fact, in a very fatal state. His health is in a very fatal state. So, first of all, do you think that it's right that a decision should be made on whether he's going to stand trial? And secondly, what do you think about the judgment that he has some potential crimes to answer for?
First off, we'd gladly welcome the decision of him standing trial, because if there is any legal counsel in Libya right now, that would be the best opportunity for him to prove his innocence, because he is innocent. The Libyan people know he's innocent. He's one of the most loved people in Libya because he's never stolen. He's not greedy. He helps people out. He's loved throughout all of Libya, and he's helped so many people out throughout his time in the government. But we'd welcome a decision for him to stand trial, and he does too, but they don't want it to come to that, because if he did stand trial, they'd have to let him go sooner or later because he's innocent. That's why they're trying to kill him all these times, and even the National Council came out and said he tried to commit suicide, even though we know it's not true, even though the Libyan people know it's not true.
Okay, just finally, can you please just send a message to people who are listening about the plight of your father? What would you like to say to them?
I'd ask them to put themselves in my shoes and my family's shoes and think, what if their parents got caught? What if it was their dad? And what if it was somebody so honest and so good, and that's been good to the Libyan people, and the Libyan people have been good to him? For something like that to happen to somebody so well known around the world and so respected around the world, it's a tragedy. It shows that there's no such thing as Human Rights Watch laws. It shows that there's no legal council in Libya or around the world at the moment, because nobody's paying attention to what's really going on. If my father, if anything happens to him, of course, all these institutions would be held responsible because they chose to ignore this. And I want to thank the people that came out, that spoke to all these institutions, that tried to help out in any way. And that's all, I guess.
Hamid, thank you so much for talking to us, and you know we urge everybody to put pressure on organisations like the United Nations, however futile it may seem,
Of course.
for justice to be encouraged in Libya, and for the life of your father to be secured, as he is an important figure in the future political process of Libya.